Hello everyone! Here are some tips and tricks on using Pixelborn, the card game simulator. If you don't know where to download it from, feel free to join our amazing community in Discord where help will be provided. Starting off with the login screen, you can always create a new account with email and password, and this is useful if you want to play the game on multiple devices or if you support us on Patreon and you want to receive your in-game rewards. Otherwise, the guest login here will just work fine for you. If you want to change your username, you need to go to the settings here and this input will be enabled. This is only for our Patreon supporters. You can go to the collections menu to see all the cards that are currently in the game. You can filter to see the unavailable cards which have not been coded yet. You can also see your decks here, your card backs if you have any of those available, and the plagues that are displayed during a game. If you want to know more about a card, you can always right click it, and for example for Mickey Mouse here, who is referencing broom characters, you can see the available broom characters in the game. To play the game, you need to create a deck of 60 cards. Simply click the new deck button and then choose the cards with maximum 2 colors that you want to add to your deck. There are currently 2 options to play the game. One is to play PvP against random people. You just select your deck and click the play button. The other option, if you want to play against a friend, just click the custom game toggle and enter the game name. If you and your friend enter the same name, you will be matched immediately. The test option to play here is just for developers, so you can ignore it. Now that you're in the game, let's have a quick look at the interface. On the right side we have the inkwell, where you can drag and drop a card to put it into the inkwell on a turn. On the left side, here we have your current gained war and your opponent lore. Below that we have 2 graveyards. You can click to see the cards in your graveyard, or you can click to see your opponent graveyards. If you are overwhelmed by your opponent, you can just go to the menu and concede your game. How do you send the character on a quest? Simply hover it and you will see the available abilities in the panel below. So I can just send Jumbo Jukiwa to a quest and gain 2 lore. If you want to attack with your character, simply drag and select your target. You can always cancel the attack by right-clicking or by clicking escape. When you play a card, if you want to cancel it, you can just drag it back to your hand, right-click it, or click escape. You can right click on any card in the game to see additional information about that card, as well as history and stats for that card and additional cards that has been referenced, like in this case, what is a fire cannon. You can see the next card, which is the fire cannon. You can also see the base card, so you can see the original stats of the card. Now let's talk about some triggered effects. For example, the magic broom. When you play this character, you may shuffle a card from any discard into player's deck. When I play this, I will see a pop-up. Because this character has the may word in their text, you can choose to trigger it or to ignore it by clicking cancel. If you want to trigger the effect, just click on the select button, then you need to choose your target. In this case, I can choose from either of the discard piles, either mine or my opponent discard piles, and this is the place where you switch between the discard piles. There are other cases where the text of the character does not have the may keyword, which means that the trigger is mandatory. In the Tinkerbell case, you draw a card, then choose and discard a card, so you have to discard a card, and in this case you just choose one of the cards in your hand to get discarded. Some cards, like the coconut basket here, will require additional information from you, because the text says remove up to 2 damage from chosen character whenever you play a character. So if I play Mickey here, this will actually trigger all my coconut baskets, and I will choose the order in which they will trigger. So the first one. Now I can use the arrows here to choose how much damage tokens I want to remove from that character. And then I will proceed to do the same with the rest of my triggers, if I want to do them, of course. Some other cards, like Maleficent here, has a text containing the may word and the on-enter ability that can be cancelled when played using this button here, or you can just cast it and destroy your enemies. But in the case of Scar here, who doesn't have the may word in their text, when you play him, the targeting is mandatory and you have to choose a character even if that character is Scar. Some cards have multiple effects and you need to choose which effect you want when you play the card. For example, a shift character. You need to choose, do you want to play the character as a pure character or use their shift ability. In this case I don't have a Hades on board, so I cannot use the shift ability even if I want to, so I can only use my Hades. But now that I have Hades in play, I can use another Hades and use the shift ability to shift that character. The shifted characters on board are indicated with that small icon here on the bottom. And that blue icon here indicates the additional lore the character has. Let's move on to the next set of abilities. For example, be our guest. When I play it, I need to choose among 4 cards. On the top you can select or deselect which card you want to draw, and on the bottom you can choose the order of the remaining cards, the order in which they will go on the bottom of your deck. Then we have Develop Your Brain. You need to choose 1 card to draw and 1 to go on the bottom of your deck. In the case of Yasma, when this character quests, you may choose to either put the top card of your deck on the top of your deck or on the bottom. If you want to sing the song, instead of hardcasting the card, you choose that part of the ability, and then select a character you want to sing the song. Remember to always read the text of the cards, so for example the Beast is Mine can be cast on your characters as well. Then on your next turn you won't be able to end your turn before you attack with your reckless character. And that was all for the first part of tips and tricks to using the Pixelborn client. Hope you enjoyed it and see you next time.